Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought we would try out some more products from the back of my makeup drawer because I have quite a few that are back there and getting dusty. I might make this a regular thing on my channel because I'm forever forgetting about makeup and I want to make sure that I'm rotating my collection and using everything. So I'm going to start with this primer, which I used to love. I think it was last summer, but I just kind of forgot about it. This is by SVR. It's a sunscreen, SPF 50, but it's also a blurring primer. Two of my favorite things. It's called the Optical Blur Mousse Cream and it's non-comedogenic. It doesn't sound right, but I think I'm saying it right. Now, I wouldn't just use this as my sunscreen because it's such a blurring primer. I kind of only use a little bit of it, but it's good to kind of top up your normal sunscreen. But I would definitely advise using your normal sunscreen underneath it because for you to get enough sun protection out of this, you would need to use a lot. However, when it comes to the primer aspect of this, I really love the way that it just sinks into the skin and it blurs your skin and it kind of gives you like a really nice smooth canvas. But like I said, use this as extra protection rather than your only protection. Make sure you use a normal SPF and then use a little bit of this to fill out your pores. But I just love the way it smooths my skin. Now for foundation, I've pulled out my Revlon Candid Natural Finish foundation in the shade 530. I haven't used this in forever, but I remember liking it, so we're gonna go ahead and see if I still do. Oh god, you know when you haven't used a product in so long and the first pump comes out all like nasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and dab that in. It's a little bit warm tone of a shade, but can probably balance that out. Wow, the coverage is definitely full or like high medium, really nice. It has a natural demi matte finish so far. Yeah, I actually remember liking this foundation. I don't know why I don't use it more, but it's got a really nice coverage and finish on it. The shade's not 100% right. This is probably my summer shade. It's so funny. Someone commented saying, Tammy, you're getting lighter and lighter compared to your last videos. And I'm like, well, I haven't left the house all year. And last summer I was on like holiday every week. I was in Ibiza, Greece, New York. The good old days. But anyways, yeah, I was on so many holidays last summer that I caught the darkest tan I've ever had in my life. So of course I'm not the same shade as that because I haven't been on any holidays this year. This foundation is beautiful. It's dried down. I don't know if that's because of the primer, but the foundation so far has a nice natural demi matte finish that I love. So for concealer, I have the MAC Pro Longwear concealers, and these are new bottles. However, I used to use this way back in the days when I first started my makeup, and I don't know how I feel about them. So I thought I would try it again now that I'm, you know, more than a few years into my makeup career. But these little bottles bring back so many memories because when I was getting into makeup and training to be an MUA, I'm mostly self-taught, but I did do a few courses when I first started. So I did a bridal makeup course and this was all my teacher used. Like she would say, MAC is what your clients are paying for, especially with bridal. MAC was the only thing she said to use. She said grab a few shades and you would have to mix and match when you're there to kind of make a custom shade for your client. And yeah, that was the advice that she gave me. These are just bringing back so many memories. But anyway, I have the shade NC35 and NC45. I think I'm going to mix them to get the perfect shade for me and just dab that underneath my eyes. I'm going to use my finger at first, then I'm going to take my brush and just dab that in. The coverage is definitely there. I mean, even MAC had the right idea all those years ago. Full coverage is the way. That is actually a beautiful concealer. So full coverage, but lightweight. And obviously it's called Pro Longwear. So from what I can remember, it did used to last on my clients. You know, when I was first getting into makeup, I used to do £5 makeup just so that I can get the training and the experience. First, I started off by doing it for free. I was literally like, can I do your face? Can I do your face? Because I wanted to learn how to work on different faces and like use different products and different colors and stuff like that. But then when I did start doing it professionally, I would do £5 makeup. So I would literally do a full face for £5 just so that I can get the experience of, you know, doing makeup on different people and kind of build my clientele. And I can definitely feel this is a self-setting concealer. Like it's not as wet or tacky anymore as I'm tapping over it. It's kind of set itself. Yeah, this concealer is beautiful and definitely deserves the hype. It's lovely. I mean, compared to every every other concealer out there on the market. You can probably get the same result for a cheaper price nowadays, but it's still a gorgeous concealer. I'm also going to go in with the Fenty cream bronzer. I haven't used this probably since I tested it. Honestly guys, when I want a cream bronze, I either go for my Huda Beauty Tan Tour, which is my ride or die, or my Revolution foundation stick in F16. I feel like they just have the perfect formula, blendable, perfect color, everything about them I just love. But this one I remember not loving. I think I liked it, but the color was a bit too cool toned. It wasn't really like bronzerish, it was quite contourish. But this is the shade Chocolate, which looks like this. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on a Real Technique sculpting brush and just dab that into the hollows of my cheek. Yeah, it's quite a cool tone contour. So this is not something I would use to kind of warm up my skin tone. It's definitely something I will push on the outer edges of my face to kind of sculpt. Yeah, do you know what? It's a good product. I feel like it's good for sculpting the face. It melts in nicely. It's not too pigmented. It definitely does blend into the skin really well. It's just the color that I'm not a fan of, like for bronzing. Do you guys see, like, it's added a nice sculpt to my face, but not really a bronze. Another cream product that I haven't used in a while is the Fenty cream blushes. So this is Daiquiri Dip, my favorite out of the collection. I just feel like this color complements my skin tone really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that onto my cheeks. It's a gorgeous kind of peachy orange color. And these, just like the bronzer, melt into the skin beautifully. I do kind of put a lot because obviously I haven't set with powder yet. So when I do, it will not be as vibrant, but I still want it to be visible once I've powdered, which is why I put quite a bit. My skin is looking so good and healthy. If you have dry skin, you can totally leave it like this, but of course I'm gonna go ahead and set it. So I have the Shiseido. This is the only powder, I think one of the only powders that I haven't used in so long. Synchro Skin Invisible Silk Loose powder in matte. They do also have a luminous powder, I think, but this is the matte version. Oh, that seems to be doing just fine. Setting everything down nicely. Looks good to me. This is actually really nice. I need to use this a bit more. It's mattifying, smoothing, blurring, everything I look for in a powder. And you see how the blush can still be seen even though I've powdered on top of it. That's what I like. That's a really nice powder. I need to use that more. That is gorgeous. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I haven't used this in a while either. This is in the shade Toffee. I think I don't use this because it's quite a heavy powder. I think it is a powder foundation, so the color does really pack a punch. Whereas for all over my face, I tend to go for something a little bit more lightweight, not really a powder foundation, which is why I don't really reach for this anymore. But a light layer of it, I mean, it looks fine. Now for bronzer, I've pulled out my Fenty Beauty bronzer in Cocoa Naughty. So the reason that I don't reach for this is I find that it's a little bit too sheer or takes a lot of building up. At first I thought the color was just too light for me, but as I do swatches, the color's perfectly fine. It's just that it's not a pigmented powder. It is quite a buildable bronzer, which some people might really love. And I don't mind it. I don't hate it. It's just not something that I typically reach for a lot in my collection. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Yeah, I think at the time that I tried this bronzer, my preference in bronzer was a bit different, but now I go for a little bit more of a lighter bronze. So this is gonna fit right in and I can definitely start using this a bit more. So I found this in my drawer. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray that everyone used to rave about. And I think mine is either finished or finishing. So let me go ahead and use it. Haven't used this in ages. Really nice mist on that. Oh, I forgot how much I love that mist. Okay guys, so here we have the final base look. What do you think? I love it. Honestly, I'm so glad once again that I've tried out these products and reinforced my love for them. The only thing that I definitely know that I don't prefer is the cream bronzer. Nothing wrong with it, just the shade that I don't really like the cool tone effect of it. And I know for a fact out of my collection, I have others that I prefer. I'm still gonna keep it because it's not a bad product, but it's just not something that I'm gonna reach for on a regular basis. Everything else I need to force myself to use regularly because I love how my base looks and I'm loving especially this Morphe setting spray. Love what it's done to my skin. This foundation, beautiful, obsessed. The Fenty Glossy Cream Blushes, beautiful formula, and I love that you can still see that gorgeous color even though I've set with a powder. The powder as well, beautiful formula, need to use that more. The MAC concealers I do really like. I like the coverage. I like the fact that it kind of self sets itself, but I do feel like it is a little bit of nostalgia that's making me like these a bit more, just because it brings back so many good memories and it's kind of like a little nod to my early makeup career. But definitely nowadays you can find similar, if not the same type of concealers in the drugstore for cheaper prices, but it's still a good concealer if you do like MAC. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it inspires you to shop your collection. We don't always need to buy the new foundations that come out, apart from the new NARS foundation. You need that in your life. But anyways, aside from that, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care. Bye.